Folks, do you love the smell of gunpowder in the morning? Well, welcome back to Nuln, where every day is a gun day. And that's right, we're going to continue dominating all those who didn't bring themselves to worship the proper god of Warhammer, which is that of powder and shot. So here we go. Elspeth is back, folks. Elspeth is back. We need to finish off Drika. I think we're ready for a turn in, if I remember right. We don't have enough schematics for an upgrade. However, in the last episode, we were doing a lot of work. We got rid of Vlad, finally. So Sylvania is off the map. We still need to deal with Mr. McFestus. We did confederate with, sorry, I'm going to think of Marienburg. And with Marienburg here, I'm able to at least keep an eye on Festus up here, though our army is not really well suited to kill Festus yet. But we'll want to change that. And if I make an upgrade here, we can get Ironsides into the army and Outriders, which we haven't really messed with Outriders yet. And Outriders can't shoot in that 360-degree arc, kind of like the Pistoliers, but they have better range. And they deal tremendous amounts of damage. So their DPS is very high. So I think we'll actually maybe go ahead and make this upgrade here. We're not sitting on a lot of money. And again, we don't want to get overly aggressive with this army because at the moment it's a little bit weak. I think what we're going to do, though, is we need some magic in that new army. So I think I'm going to take Ulrika and march her up here to Middenstag. And then I'm going to take one of these Empire captains. We'll just take, I guess, the lower tier one because this other army is in pretty good shape. And we'll march him probably down here to Kemperbad because I'm going to move Elspeth up that direction to take it. We do need to keep an eye on the pass, and Grom, I wouldn't be shocked if we end up fighting him. This almost feels like it was saved right before I ended a turn on the last one. I don't remember. Maybe I didn't save all the way at the very end of the last one, but maybe I did. If we're repeating just a little bit here, then forgive me because I messed up there. But let's go ahead and end this turn and get our movement points back. And I'll just kind of go through real quick during this turn in what I'm hoping to accomplish. I want to further make sure all of our armies are pretty much all gun armies. Now, some of you may want to see all gun armies. I don't know when I'm going to start it, but Warner is a mod on my Discord and a longtime viewer of the channel. He is working on the gun garrison mod. So we will be doing an all gun campaign again. I'm not sure. I mean, I'll go look and see whether there's a mod from like Snack. It's like an updated version, but I don't think we're going to need one because we have enough gun units to do it. And we have all the cool upgrades and amethyst units and stuff like that. So I think we will do another all gun campaign. I just don't know exactly when I'm going to start it. And one would think we really need to do it with Elspeth, but we're also playing this one. So I'll figure it out, but we will do an all gun run. There we go. I like that. An all-gun run. Yes, General. Feels appropriate. So I'm going to swing him around to Kemperbad. And we're going to send Ulrika up this direction. There we go. And then I'm going to take this army and start making for Kemperbad.
Doing what must
we'll come meet that new agent up there. We have a little bit of cash. I'm going to go ahead and start replacing like swordsmen with Free Company militia. And we'll start replacing crossbows with guns and other stuff as we get a chance here too. But like, let's go ahead and punt these two swordsmen. And let's start recruiting here. So recruit units. And we're going to grab some Free Company militia. These guys all have explosive ammo now, by the way, because of the upgrades that we ran. And we could probably go ahead and start recruiting a Nuln Ironside here. Let's maybe pick one more crossbow. I'm going to do that. Grab an extra. Oh, well, we're going to need an extra space when that agent gets it, when Ulrika gets up here. But we could go ahead and do a little more recruiting for now. So there we go. I've got some recruiting underway. We'll start getting better gun units into that army so that we can own Festus. We got rid of Drika's army there, but it says they are still... Oh, they're still alive because Wurtbad. But we need to get Kemperbad and Wurtbad. So I was kind of confused for a second, but then it all made sense to me suddenly. We're going to need to go for Wolfenburg. That gold is going to be a very valuable resource, so I'm going to move up to this point. and get ready to hit Kappelberg. And then we'll move on to Wolfenburg. The gold mine there is going to be a very valuable strategic asset. So we want to take that. Dotternbach, we're going to get rid of this building. I think it didn't save, or I didn't save where I went to, because we needed to tear that down. And I could have sworn I'd already started recruiting units into that army. I'm going to save a little bit of money. We are low on money. It's just gonna, it is what it is at this point. Yeah, let's go ahead and end our turn here and see what we get. Guess we could repair that just so we get the function of it. I'm not going to build any outpost right now because I'm just not going to be using them for recruiting. They can be handy in the sense that it improves your garrison, but I just don't feel a tremendous need for it. I appreciate the continued comments, by the way, in the videos. I love your comments, so please take the time to go leave a comment. Tell me what you like about the video. Tell me what you don't like about what I'm doing. If I'm making mistakes, if there's things you'd like to see me do, units you think we should name, whether there is, you know, my nose is ugly, my stench is oppressive, you know, like I said, whatever you want to do, I appreciate your comments. A lot of people say comments for the algorithm, and that's fine too. I always appreciate that, but you know, I don't know if I'm right or not. By the way, I auto-resolved this because it's unlikely that would actually go super well for me without being an auto-resolve. What was I going to say? Yeah, the algorithm. Everything I've seen from YouTube, because they'll send you like little hints and tips and little training things, and basically everything I've seen from them, I think they try and make it sound like the algorithm is complex. And there's all these things you need to do. And maybe it is, but I don't think it is. Like, I think the algorithm is all based on how often you get people to click through your thumbnail. So like if you're putting up bikini girl thumbnails or thumbnails that are like kind of catchy and clicky, clickbait, that's what they're going to show videos to. And my thumbnails aren't that. And so I don't think it, I mean, like, I appreciate it when you all like the video. I appreciate you commenting. It does, I mean, probably technically help me, but I don't think it actually helps because I think that really YouTube's algorithm is literally just who gets the best click-through rate on thumbnails, because they sent a training recently in their little YouTube studio, and it was basically, hey, see these thumbnails? Aren't they clickbaity? Here's yours. Yours aren't clickbaity enough. You should be making clickbait. I mean, they didn't say it in those words, but it was essentially that. Like, it's just saying, hey, you should clickbait harder on your thumbnails. And it's like, all right, message received. And basically they went through the importance of click-through rate, and they're basically saying, hey, if you get a higher click-through rate on your thumbnails, we'll give you more views. And man, I hate that kind of stuff. Like, I hate it. Not that like I hate someone who's making a clickbaity thumbnail. I don't care what they're doing. I don't want to do that. I didn't start this channel to make clickbaity thumbnails. I didn't start this channel to do much other than play games and have fun playing games. And so nothing irritates me more than like a system or a society or something like telling me what I have to do when I don't have to do it. Now, that doesn't mean I don't like listen to common wisdom or anything else like that, right? Or follow the laws. I do those things, but I'm just saying, like, YouTube coming to me on a platform literally called YouTube, where they encourage you to make videos that you want to, and then telling me that I need to make videos that fit their scheme, I mean, just irritates me to no end, and honestly makes me want to quit the platform just out of like spite. But of course, I'm not going to do that because I like making this content for you all. And honestly, if it weren't for you all, I would have quit doing this a long time ago because of just how irritating YouTube is as a company and a platform these days. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's still a lot of good things about it, and there's a lot of cool content on it, but it's all in spite of YouTube being a terrible company versus them being a great company that encourages more of this stuff. Like, I feel like all the cool creative stuff you see on YouTube is in spite of their terrible policies and decision making and all that other kind of stuff. But that's just me. Again, you don't have to agree with me. Anyway, long story there, but thank you for the comments. I appreciate your comments. It doesn't matter what they do for the algorithm. I'm not here to feed the algorithm. The algorithm can go jump off an algorithm cliff for all I care, because I just don't care. Yeah, it doesn't bother me. In any case, here we go. Let's get back to things here. In fact, maybe that can be your comment. You all tell me what you think about the way social media runs. Do you like it? Do you like the constant push of social media to tell you what you should want to see? Or do you miss kind of the old days of where social media showed you what you chose to see? See, I kind of miss the latter, right? And I feel like it doesn't hardly exist anymore. It's like, here's what we're going to tell you you should want to see, versus used to you would subscribe to something and then that's what you would see. I miss the old days. I yearn for that. It would be fantastic to see someone smart enough to run a business model that goes back to it. But like I said, I digress. Let's head back to other commentary. So we've taken Kemperbad. That is good. We need to rebuild it. I do have a little bit of cash this time around, and we need to start upgrading things. We have a ton of stuff to upgrade, like a literal ton. Let's go back to Nuln. Let's build this iron resource at Dotternbach, because we definitely want to have all the trade capability, and we'll build these 2 settlements so that we can further increase our trade good output there. We have 744 schematics. We could build, of course, another Gardens and More, and we will at some point soon, but let's go ahead and end through this one. Oh, look at this. Volkmar gets killed off, but fortunately for me, I'm using my Recruit Defeated Legendary Lords mod, so that means Volkmar can now take over one of our armies. In fact, we'll probably put him in charge of this one up here whenever he becomes available. He's going to have a cooldown, of course, so he won't be immediately available. Let's go ahead and maybe replace the rest of these crossbows with some more Nuln Ironsides. And the White Wolves are cool, but I mean, they have bows, and bows are not allowed. So I'm going to kick all these. It's probably a little dangerous for me to kick this many units at a time, but I'm just going to take that risk. Whoops, building the wrong ones. Let's grab those, and grab a couple more Nuln Ironsides there. We're going to really stack up a nice line of Nuln Ironsides, and then we might keep a halberd or two. Well, I mean, it's supposed to be a gun army. We'll probably replace those two. I don't know. I just can't get enough guns, so they are too much fun. All right, we're going to get Wolfenburg. This will help out a ton with our income. It's just going to take a little bit of extra investment here to rebuild the settlement and then rebuild the gold mine. So that shouldn't be too big of a deal. Wurtbad is just out of reach for us, frustratingly. I think it's like literally like 1% farther than we're going to be able to go on this turn. And yeah, it is. I think it's like 1 or 2% farther than we can march. Dang, that's frustrating. But we'll get rid of Dreyka's faction, and we'll get our wine resource back. And then we have retaken Kemperbad. And then we'll just have to hit Kappelberg and Talabheim, which we will get, and eventually make our way up into Brass Keep and finish off the festering Festus stooge once and for all. Carl still has his work cut out for him. He's got Barrow Legion running all over him still, but I mean, he's doing okay considering the crappy situation that he's in. I think he had... Does he have the Shadow Crown? I can't remember. No, he doesn't. All right, it must have been a different one I was playing where he ended up with the Shadow Crown. We need some schematics, which means we need some battles. All right, we're being attacked at the fort by Skunk, and he's not going to win, but I wouldn't be surprised if another army showed up not long after him, but we'll just steal the money there and take what we can get. The fort could be difficult to maintain long term, but you never know. We might get lucky. And Eltharion might come over, for instance, and start, beating up Grom. I don't know. I'm not going to count on it, but you never know. It happens. I don't want them to have military access right now because they might just come through and steal settlements that I'm wanting to take from Festus. And then they're a tiny faction anyway, so I'm just not worried about placating them. I'm going to go ahead and hit Hergig. It's a little bit of a risk for me to walk away from here, but I don't think it'll be that big of a risk. Oh, no, we need Kappelberg.
It is time.
I think I'm going to swing back across here to Kappelberg real quick.
Do not touch the damned prince.
Norden. We're going to stay close because we definitely don't want to lose that gold mine, but I'm going to go ahead and swing back across here and try and trap that army from Festus there and hit them at Kappelberg. Let's go take a look around. We're once again bleeding a fair bit of income because our upkeep is, of course, very expensive. I'm going to get rid of the White Wolves here because we now have enough guns. And we're going to throw Ulrika into this stack.
Camaraderie shall get us there.
All right, Ulrika's in there. Got movement points with Elspeth, and we're gonna just go ahead and auto-resolve the rest of Drika's army. She's not worth a whole lot here. We have this replenish hit points thing. We're gonna throw that on our new Empire Captain. It was on Ulrika, but let's go ahead and auto-resolve this.
The Empire, either side.
And now we'll have an Empire Captain there, so we get a little bit extra melee potential, and Ulrika will bring some extra range and magic to that other army, which doesn't have it. So the War Groves of Woe are now just Woe. There's no more War Grove in there, which is good. That's the way I wanted to leave them. We got our wine resource back, which should help me increase my income a fair bit. And as soon as we get the gold mine rebuilt up here, that will, well, it will be a gold mine, as one might imagine. So we're going to be working on that. And again, I'm a little short on money. We do have 1,500 resources. If I go into the gunnery school, as far as what we need to do next, we need to buy more upgrades. And we need to use the Spirit Barrage, and we need to construct the Nuln Gunnery School. We get 750 schematics, by the way, for constructing the Gunnery School. It is a special building for Nuln, and it requires us to be all the way up to growth level 5, which means that when Doddernbach and Wissenberg get upgraded, we're going to want to put some growth buildings there so we can speed up the growth. I could switch this to where we get extra growth as well. But I do kind of want that extra income at the moment. So let's just go ahead and go make some upgrades. We have our gunnery infantry and our gun cavalry upgraded. A steam tank upgrade results to where we can get extra repairs going on the steam tanks. The rocket one will have more rockets coming off. The cannon one gives us grape shot, which we definitely want grape shot. So I'm going to make that upgrade right now. And then we can put cannons in more of our armies as well. So I feel like that's just going to be, you know, something we definitely want. So let's go ahead and see about ending another turn here. We're going to do another one of these control and tariffs. I really like getting those tariffs boosted faction-wide. Let's end another turn. The Great Green Devil has showed up at Helmgart, and he's going to defeat it. Watch him sack it and just run away. Let's see what he does. What an idiot, that's what he did. He just sacked it and ran away. Oh my gosh. That guy doesn't understand what the word victory means. But he does know what lunch means, apparently. So, let's see here. I am going to go from Wurtbad up to Talabheim. There's skins or furs at Talabheim that we'll want to take care of. There's timber there. Kappelberg also has timber. This is good. We're going to be able to get a good line on some new trade goods and really get some income streaming again. We're going to occupy Kappelberg. Need to rebuild it. Kemperbad has been built here. I'm going to put a growth thing here. And then let's go take this army, which finished that little bit of recruiting. We have Ulrika. It's not a finished army yet, but it is looking pretty cool, honestly. We've got some neat units here. Even though it's not all gun, this is also not an entire gun campaign. We're just going gun heavy, of course. We're going to retake this settlement. So Hergig is back in our control. And we'll have a timber resource here that we'll go ahead and build. Start taking advantage of the extra timber trade. I'm not going to build that yet. Let's just double check. There's nothing else I need. If we go back here to Nuln. Yeah, one more turn, and then we need to build growth buildings in Wissenland. And up here, I will go ahead and upgrade Hergig, and we're going to try and pull it back from... Well, we don't need that, because Middenstag is kind of our local recruiting territory there. Let's kind of check in on Karl again. He's alive. He's not amazing, but he's alive and still kind of holding out. If he can just keep holding out, we can come save his bacon from the vampires, and we should be all right. I need to repair the fort from Grom's assault. Oh, man, speaking of Batman, he is on the way, apparently. I was saying how that's a possibility, and now it's a very real possibility. So Batman has come to clean out Gromtham, or Gotham, I guess, right? Hey, bad jokes. And hopefully we'll see something happening there. Let's see, Elspeth picks up another skill point. I was finishing up Lightning Strike for her, which is now done. And then I think we want to go ahead and do this Magisterics of the Amethyst Order, and then come up here, and we need to unlock the Fate of Buna, because I think, or sorry, the Purple Sun. I think she gets a, hugely reduced winds and magic cost for the Purple Sun, which will make her even more ridiculously deadly, and something that really can't be deadly enough, in my opinion. We got this Empire
Von
Captain.
Draken.
Let's go ahead. We don't really need training with him because this army has got a lot of chevrons as it is. So I'll skip that for now, and we'll go ahead and just focus on his personal tree here. And then we've got Emil. We're going to replace Emil soon, I think. Or we could just... Yeah, I think we should replace him with Volkmar.
By the comet.
And then we can reuse him in another army if we need to. But I don't know, I may want a different kind of... May want a different kind of lord. Volkmar's still wounded. So 3 turns, we can get Volkmar. Alright, turns training would actually be a good thing here. We are done with skill points. We don't really have any money, so we need to just take care of any commandments and then end our turn. Check this out. Nurgle has nowhere to go. This is funny. So I'm using the Recruit Defeated Legendary Lords mod. The AI gets to use it as well, by the way. So it's not just me who benefits from it. The AI does. Azazel, I guess, just embrace the disease, which I guess is not totally surprising. Slaanesh embraces many things. And so there you go. You got Slaanesh giving in to the disease and leading an army running down the river to get away from the overwhelming gunpowder death that follows them everywhere they go. I love it. It is absolutely brilliant. I'm going to put one of these cleanse corruption because we're going to be taking over a lot of Nurgle territory. I'm going to go ahead and move up here. We're going to take a little bit of Nurgle corruption in the process. So I guess what I'll do is just kind of move in an encamp stance. And Hergig and some of these other places are going to be a little bit vulnerable for the time being. However, should be okay. Oh, look at this. Uber Shriek was taken. Let's beeline it down here to go ahead and help Carl. And we'll also be able to protect the pass if we do that. And then I needed to put the growth buildings into this province. So there's the 2 growth buildings. I have enough money to upgrade these. At least one of them, so I'll go ahead and do that to upgrade my trade goods and then get the growth. So we're spending a little bit of money on Wissenland there because it needs it. Got to spend that money at home sometimes. And, oh, we needed the gold mine at Wolfenburg. That's the one that's going to be worth a lot. I guess we'll just start building it on the next turn. Kappelberg. Oh, we still need to take Talabheim. So we'll move this army to take Talabheim. And that should be good for this turn, so let's end this one, and I will see you all on the next one. Oh, check this out. So during the turn end, we get war declared on us by the Bloody Hands, which actually means that I probably need to warp Elspeth back over to Sylvania and then go cut off any potential assault by the Bloody Hands. Sylvania is worth a lot of money because of the gold mines and the wine and the other resources. It is a very valuable... it's a very valuable holding for me. I don't immediately see the Bloody Hands attacking me, so I may spend just a couple more turns trying to go render some aid to Carl. Check it out. Avalorn is over here too. Avalorn and Batman. So we got Alariel and Eltharion both coming over here to kind of spread some order in the old world. Oh, and Carl did get the Nemesis crown. Check it out, old Carl's got the Nemesis crown. I love it.
Yes.
Let's take a look at quick deals, by the way. We haven't been in here in a while.
Heed me.
Great Orthodoxy wants a military access really bad. Great Orthodoxy would take a defensive alliance, which I think would be prudent. I'll go ahead and give him that and then steal some money from him. I need to build a gold mine with that money, so... The Ice Court, let's get them to join us here as well.
Oh, Kislev.
All right, so now we've got a defensive agreement with Kislev. The Ungol, I'm just not worried about them. They're gonna die soon enough. Like, so I'm not terribly concerned with them.
One rug.
No one wants a military alliance at the moment, but we're close probably with Ungrim.
Now.
And we can't confederate Karl, of course, at this point, but we'll keep an eye on that because that might actually come to being. We're starting to make a lot more money, which is great news. And we need to build the gold mine here. And honestly, Nurgle is probably going to head for that gold mine. It's going to suck. Azazel may knock out that gold mine before we can get there, but of course we'll take it back from him. Like, we're not going to let him keep something like that, though it would suck if he went and grabbed it right after I built it, which, again, they very well might on this turn end. In fact, I think it's quite likely that they will. Festus is here. I actually don't have the most amazing army here. I don't have any cannons to get after stuff from Festus, but he also doesn't have his Beast of Nurgle and other stuff anymore. It would really be a matter of whether I could get enough gunfire out there for long enough to stop some of this stuff. We're certainly not going to fight him in the siege. I'll start building some stuff and I'll continue the siege. It would have really been good to have cannons in that army. And I think that would have been the far more appropriate thing there. We need to rebuild Talabheim, by the way. And then Elspeth is waiting her movement points. I still need schematics. We haven't fought battles, so we're short on schematics at the moment. Wertbad got its wine resource. Castle Drakenhof is looking pretty good. Tenhof. Where is going to be a good spot? Like, so in Wissenberg. All right, we got our level 2 trade stuff going. I want to save my growth. But I am going to build these because it'll give me additional growth here. So I'll spend my money there in Wissenland again so that we can really focus in on getting upgraded all the way to the city-state so we can build the Nuln Gunnery School to meet the upgrade requirements. And then we really need to start working on other areas too. What is this? Mordheim. It's not that amazing. It's okay. Griffinwood. Beckhoffen. It's looking okay. We're gonna get the furs. We're gonna get more timber. So that would be good. I'm just gonna save a little bit of money. Sometimes it's helpful to have some extra cash on hand. We can also get this and kind of increase our tariffs further here, which is great because we're about to get potentially more trade goods like dyes, the timber, and the furs. So that should help us make more money. All right, it looks like Festus is attacking us here on the turn end, and we haven't fought a lot of battles, so we're gonna go ahead and fight this. I hope it turns out okay. I think it can, because we do have like the Altdorf Griffites, for instance, to push back on any large units trying to get through our lines. We've got a pretty tough Empire Lord here. We've got an Empire Captain again. Not amazing, but capable. And then saying that we got a Witch Hunter. And we got Ulrika here as well. Ulrika is great against infantry. We got a few halberds to help hold a line. And we can do some really potent range damage with these iron sights. Remember, they got explosive ammo because of our upgrades. And I mean, these guys are going to punch. Like, they're going to pack a wallop. Unfortunately for me, this lake is frozen. If it wasn't frozen, it would allow me to slow Nurgle down from already being slow. And I would be able to do a lot more gun damage to them along the way. Oh, we got to run. Those are poison warhounds. So let's get on the move. I should be far faster than the poison warhounds, but charge speed, of course, always really works in favor of the pursuer because they get close enough and they start to get charge speed. So we're going to try and stay ahead of those hounds. I don't mind if they catch up to me up here. And in fact, I might leave my Lord and Ulrika and some of these other units here to just kind of engage the hounds. Once they come into range of my Nuln Iron Sides, it's just going to be a massacre. Like, I mean, just an atrociously wonderful massacre. It was stupid annoying. Oh yeah, there we go. Now I've given a really nice position on this hill so that I can put infantry in front of my guns when the time comes, and I will still have really excellent lines of sight. So that is my objective here today. You can see my Nuln Iron Sights just absolutely flattening that. I'm gonna go try and get these chariots' attention over here. Otherwise, I've got to get my cavalry ready to shore up this flank. think I'm gonna actually take this unit of Free Company Militia and point out this way as well. All right, I don't know if the chariots are taking the bait. I'm trying to get their attention, but I don't think they're falling for it. We got to keep a close eye on those chariots. There's none. Well, they're all kind of heading back towards one flank, so I'm going to work my Altdorf Grippites in this direction. Here comes a chariot. We can't allow this. I'm going to have to intercept it. So I'm going to take the Zentler's Reichsguard and intercept that Gorbeast chariot. It's not going to be the best thing for us, but again, I've got to stop them from charging our infantry. Wow, whatever spell that was that he used on Ulrika was fairly effective. All right, so we slowed down the chariots. This flank is secure for now. Our guns are firing away. I'm going to move my halberd line into position, and I'm going to put the Free Company Militia up front right here too. Now remember, Free Company Militia can fire whilst moving. And I've got my Altdorf Grippites in reserve here. My Zentler's Reichsguard is out there. I may have to go... I was thinking about assisting them, but honestly, if anything, we want to just kind of point some guns into this gap and just kind of clean up the units that are fighting there. Hopefully our heroes can hold out okay. Alright, so our halberds did a good job of kind of absorbing that charge of the enemy, and I'm going to back up a little bit up the hill and give my units even better line of sight. I'm going to put these guys onto a skirmish mode so that I don't have to babysit them, hopefully. And I'm going to come in here and do a rear charge with the Altdorf Grippites, but I'm going to get in all the way behind these units. There's a single chariot, and they're probably going to get a whole bunch of damage done. The farther back we move these, I feel like we're going to do a little better. I'm going to move them a little farther back. Let's start targeting Festus. We don't want to stay in this melee for a big long time. Okay, we got rid of that chariot. Let's line up our Ironsides. I'm going to kind of actually pull these guys back a little bit to give those Ironsides an even better angle. All right, we got rid of the chariot. It's going to be gone. Let's see if we can hit Festus. Oh, crap. Let's target these guys. I've got 2 of these units to target Festus. That Null Ironside's gonna have to kind of hold its own for a minute, unfortunately. Alright, how we doing? How we doing? Alright, my leadership is in a tough fight out there, but they're hanging in there. Let's accuse Festus of being an ugly jerk. I can't hit Festus right here. Like, we're blocked. I guess he's not big enough to be a viable target over the top of that line, even with my hill position. That's honestly a little bit perturbing. I need to get these Zentler's Reichsguards saved. I'm gonna have to cycle another charge into here. They're now being attacked by aspiring champions as well. Let's maybe rear charge here and then cycle back against them. Let's see if we can clear up some of these infantry units to clean that up. Okay, our gunfire over into that other blob is definitely doing some friendly fire, but it's also doing some helpful fire. We still don't have a good line of sight on Festus. He's not a tiny target, but it's kind of treating him that way. So I'm gonna just pick other targets that we're likely to be able to hit right now. I'm gonna run away from this Marauder Great Weapon. It's beating me up a little too much. Our armor is good, but not so great against the Marauder Great Weapons there. That aspiring champion charged my Ironsides for some reason. Ooh, we're struggling a little bit out here in this fight because there's a exalted champion. We need to get over there and help against this fight. I've got those exalted, the aspiring champions chasing one of my Ironsides, and I'm blasting them with another. I'm doing everything I can to clear up this fight. I just sent the Grippites and the Zentler's Reichsguard as reinforcements. Oh, we had a Pit of Shades. I should have just used that. That would have cleared this out in a big hurry. I think we cleared out that fight, though. We got a little bit of a terror route going. And then Ulrika is going to further clear it here. Let's get into that Exalted Hero. We got the Aspiring Champions dead. Gonna pull this line back up here. We've cleared out the back line. We can restock. We can't restock ourselves, unfortunately, but I can go restock some of these other units. How is Festus still alive? Like, we just can't seem to put any hits on him. If we could have killed him, I would have taken way less damage in this fight. But regardless, I mean, we're still going to win. And we should win pretty convincingly. There they go. Everybody's taking off. See if we can put some shots in those guys on the way out. Score Beast Chariots do horrific damage to infantry, so... Wow, those Griffites and Zentler's Reichsguard really saved me in a couple of pinches there. And honestly, my Halberds did a spectacular job of holding up. Let's see if we can kill Festus before he gets away from us, by the way. And then I'm going to bring my Pistoliers to hunt down some of these routing units. I wish I could restock there. Okay, we killed Festus. Let's take a few shots at those Chosen on the way out the door. I'm going to clean up as much of these routing troops as we can. I'm going to take the Griffites and go after that Exalted Hero, and I'll bring these guys after the Marauders of Nurgle. Again, just trying to do as much cleanup work as I can here. Alright, we got those Chosen. Nurgle is pretty slow. I could start running these Ironside units across the map to see if we can stay in firing range. We'll have to be careful of... Free Company Militia can fire whilst moving. It would actually be pretty well suited to some of this chasing duty. Let's pull them this way. The Pistoliers are struggling to do anything against the Chosen, even while routing, because they just don't do armor-piercing damage. Like, that's just not a thing that they accomplish. In fact, I'm going to move them out of the way here. We got a Pistolier to move out of the way, and then I'm going to take these Null Ironsides and pound this routing Chosen unit. Try and avoid some friendly fire, though there's probably going to be a little there. Okay, what are we up to? What are we up to? Okay, the Griffites can find another target. Alright, yeah, like I said, just trying to clear up as much of this as we can, because killing these routing units means we don't have to fight them later. I can keep using my Pistoliers to slow these units down, and then like right here, Chaos Warriors, great weapons, I can open fire on them because we're well within range with multiple units. Awesome, that exploding ammunition paying big dividends. Yeah, see that Free Company Militia can fire while moving, so they can continue to pour fire into this Chosen while it's routing. Awesome. Let's actually scoot up and hit these Marauders that are routing. I'm going to do the same thing with this other Pistolier. Come hit these Marauders. Griffites are cleaning up their units. Man, those Griffites were clutch. We needed them bad. Yeah, killing off these units at Chosen and not having to fight them in the next battle should be very valuable for us, because they're expensive units and they're hard to kill. And taking them off of the battlefield here while it's easy and uncontested seems like the obvious thing. I'm going to clear my own men out of here so we can minimize friendly fire, and we'll start picking off these Chaos Warriors. They're kind of intertwined with me right now for whatever reason. We are definitely causing some friendly fire. Awesome, so we are still beating the crap out of this Chosen. There's very little of it left. Alright, I'm going to follow it all the way on over there. Pistoliers have picked up their new targets. Alright, anyway, I'll see you all back on the campaign map. Caused egregious damage. The Fecondites there. I'm going to actually take the replenishment. We got a lot of schematics out of that battle as well, which is great news. Azazel won't even be able to overcome our weak garrison, so rest in pepperonis, Azazel. We now have a lot of money. Lewin wants to do business with Wissenland, and that is a smart choice, because not doing business with us means that you become target practice. So an intelligent decision on the part of Lewin. And Brasskeep is now going to fall without further losses. And we can take advantage of that. We're going to get dies out of it. So this leaves us in an excellent spot. At the end of this episode, we even get Volkmar now. And honestly, we're making so much money that I think I'm probably just going to start recruiting another army with Volkmar, because I can finish Quartermaster here. And then we'll be able to get Headhunter on the next turn, which means that Meal's army is going to become cheaper. And we should eventually be able to field up a fourth army here soon, which we will need. We got a short victory, technically, right there. So campaign victory in the manner of speaking. And this army with Boris, I think I'm going to send it to aid Carl with the remaining vampire threat. Middenstag is kind of cool for recruiting, but I mean, I just don't really need it anymore. So I think I'm going to pass Middenstag on to Carl because it would complete Middenland for him. I mean, we might get it back eventually if we help. You know, I'm just going to hang on to it for now. There's no real reason to pass it over to Carl. It's not going to make or break things for him. Plus, we're already in a good relationship with him. Fort Saul is certainly becoming strong, which you all know the history of Fort Saul if you've watched my previous Empire Guns campaign. Boy, we have a lot of money. And I first want to see if there's anything we can do at Wissenland. I don't think so. I don't really want to build these because it's going to take my excess population at the moment. I really need to get up to 4. So I'm going to let that go for a while at Wissenland. We're not going to make any upgrades. At Wertbad, I do want more wine resources. Wolfenburg is 1 turn away from the gold mine. We certainly want the Cinnabar mining pit. We want to make defenses. And then I want to turn around, and since this is a 1 settlement province, I probably will go ahead and throw the extra growth in here, just so we can move things along a little more quickly. And at Krudenwald, let's maybe put some defenses there. We can get the timbers at Kappelberg. And soon we can get the furs at Talabheim. Just build some of these minor settlements up there. Griffinwood, Neidling. We've got so much stuff going on. Let's see. I can grab some extra money here to help fund Volkmar's army. That should be good as far as spend goes on this turn. And then we need to run another upgrade. The steam tank upgrades would be a really cool one. It's the repair. The rocket ones would be really good because we have rockets as well. I'm going to try and get a lot of land ships and steam tanks soon enough. Once we get that, once we complete up to here, the Engineers Guild Hall. Which, by the way, is it the same thing as the Gunnery School? In terms of what it recruits? No. Okay, so the Gunnery School doesn't do any recruiting. Okay. Yeah, it's just a special building we gotta put in there. Okay, so good. We're not wasting any space with this. We definitely want this so that we can get the rockets, land ship, volley guns, steam tanks, all the things that are gonna really cap out our gun armies. At the Moot, might go ahead and just put in a weaving house to earn a little bit of money there. Schematics. We can make an upgrade to the howitzers and the volley guns, but we're not really using them, so I say we just save our schematics. We're going to get there soon enough. We only need 2 more upgrades here, and then we just have to use the Spirit Barrage and build the Gunnery School. So we're well on our way to that. Anyway, it has been a successful episode. I do hope you all enjoyed it. We are going to need to head back over here and probably face off with
Elspeth Von Draken.
the Dancing Green Prophet. But let's go ahead and grab Ubershriek and give that back to Carl.
Suffering.
Let's see what's happened to Batman and Alariel too.
Their end is inevitable.
All right, so we retook Carl's holding,
fellow heirs of Sigmar.
and I think I'll just give that to Carl. I don't want to try and hold 1 bill. I mean, unless it's like super valuable, which it may be. Let's not really. It's a cool building, but it's not like particularly valuable. So I'm just going to give this to Carl.
Dark Lady of None.
Because why not? I would rather him be able to defend himself ultimately. So let's go ahead and trade the settlement over to Carl. So that's going to be Ubershrieks. I don't need his money, so I'm just going to hand it to him. I know that ultimately that's not what you want to do if you're like min-maxing, but I'm not worried about min-maxing here. I will see you all next time. Heir of Wissenland, signing out. Folks, make sure to keep your guns clean and your powder dry. I'll see you next time.